Good morning. It's the 1st of January, so a very happy new year to you all. I'm off to work, so I got an early night and didn't have much to drink, so I feel all right. I should imagine a few of you are going to be feeling quite groggy. I hope you enjoy your hangover while you don't go to work. Want to talk about Carl Benjamin. Now, he sort of divides the room. I would say that the majority of people that watch my videos would support Carl Benjamin, but I know there's a few that, probably don't think he's a bit milquetoast, perhaps, and I suppose he's walking a sort of a line, isn't he? Keep being able to produce content without getting banned, demonetized again, Anyway, but in this video I watched, he was talking about reform, and he was saying he's probably going to vote for them even anyway. And I was just thinking, what an opportunity missed. Someone like Carl really has such influence. Please, Carl, start holding Nigel Farage's feet to the fire at least. At least make demands, say, you're not getting my vote unless, and you could bang on about it, put pressure on them, because Farage at the end of the day has shown that he's limp-wristed almost now in politics, and I think he's so controlled that he'll just bend which way he's told to. But if you can put enough pressure and move that Overton window along, at least and I was going to talk about 3 issues, and someone's probably going to be a Reform member in the chat and say in the comments and point out that they have these policies. I'm saying this not having looked at their manifesto. If they've even got a manifesto, they've probably just got, the pledges, the policies that they like. But I believe that they're very wishy-washy. So, inheritance tax. It's an open goal. Just say, we are going to ban inheritance tax. It's an evil tax. Out of all the taxes that we really hate, and to be honest with you right now, I hate every single one, because I don't believe the money that they take from us under the threat of violence goes to where it's supposed to go. It's all swallowed up by corruption and, what do they call it? Empire building civil servants, they're growing their departments, and it's got to go. But inheritance tax is your open goal. So no way we're going to vote for you unless you have an absolute policy. That's gone. No one should have to give a single penny upon dying to the government, and be prevented from handing over their wealth entirely to their family. 1. Energy independence. Now, I heard Farage talk about this like 5 or more years ago, and before he was where he is now, obviously, lining up to be, the sort of the new Prime Minister elect, isn't he, really? And he was talking about, in favour of nuclear and everything like that, and against the tax that we're all charged against our will for wasteful and, again, corrupt green energy projects, especially wind. Maybe solar has some use. I don't know. I don't know enough about it, but certainly wind. And I would be wanting to hear, right, we need to be energy independent, because we can't be relying on other countries, especially as things are so delicately poised, in the West at the moment, and wars going on, and the cost of oil. So we're going to dig up coal. We're going to build new coal power stations. Yeah, do it. If the carbon footprint is really high, don't give a damn. Don't care. But actually, I've heard that with modern filtration systems, you can bring the pollution and the output of carbon from these power stations down to almost negligible. They're that good, apparently. So yeah, get that coal out of the ground, and let's get burning that. Let's get gas out of the North Sea. Let's get burning that, whilst we have a small nuclear power stations project where they're going to start building those all over the country. This should be front and centre of reform policies. And then food independence. And what I mean by that is farming. We need to make it absolutely clear that reform are 100% behind the farmers. Obviously, we're getting rid of inheritance tax anyway, so that wouldn't be a subject to even have to talk about, would it? Because that will be gone. But yeah, just absolutely building up farming, encouraging them to grow, food that we need, subsidize them massively, and put huge taxes on imported food. Just that. Let's just help the farmers out. Let's make it so that our country, even though we're in trouble, is energy and food independent. That will make us a very, very strong country indeed, because you're not reliant on outside forces. And those are just a few, and that's just what comes out of this very limited mind, So Carl and others like it who are still sort of saying, oh, yeah, well, we don't trust Nigel, but, we'll probably vote for him anyway. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. And you'll have better ideas than I've just had there. But use your influence, please, and heap the pressure on him, because he's going to get in. And when he gets in, people are then going to realise, oh, it's just a rebrand of the Tory party. He's bringing in loads of MPs from already establishment parties. They're just going to carry on doing what they've been doing for ages, with a tiny improvement here or there, and it'll be slightly less terrible, perhaps. But no, it's not good enough. That's my views on it anyway. I mean, we're all doomed anyway. The whole country's going to fall into some sort of revolution at some stage. But let's at least put that pressure on him to see whether we can get him to bend to our will somewhat. And then maybe I might be able to convince that it's not quite as black and dark as I think it is. Anyway, have a lovely new year. As always, I'm going to just do a little bit of self-shilling down in the comments, down in the description below. There'll be links to my books and stuff like that. If anyone's interested, be there. I've also got a new channel that I've started, which is little illustrations of chapter by chapter with me doing the audio reading of book. So you don't even have to do reading if that's your issue. Anyway, see you soon. Bye.